Yo, what's up guys? We're back with another video today. And guys, UFC 312 just took place. Like, the prelims were actually really good. The prelims carried this card so badly. Because the main card was just absolute ass. It was actually so... Like, some of the fights were good. Like, one fight. But, like, the rest were either just, like, mediocre or were just not disappointing in a way. So, without further ado, let's just recap the card, guys. Alright, starting off the card, we had Quillan Salkid versus Inshla Jabil. First round knockout. I knew that this was... I didn't think that he was going to knock him out. I really didn't. I kind of expected it. I believe I said that in my video. But, nah, he knocked him out in the first round. I mean, that was... And, like, in the... I think he did in, like, less than 20 seconds. There's a potential argument that it was a very early stoppage because... Well, for one, like, Quillan knocked him out, like, cold. Like, the dude just immediately collapsed. But then, like, he then got back up. But I would say it was too late. So, you know, a little bit iffy right there. But I think Quillan would have won that fight regardless. So, good job on Quillan for his debut, knocking out Jabil. That was a pretty good statement to start off your career in the UFC. So, yeah, good job. All right, Jonathan McKelf versus Kevin Jacques. This was actually a really good fight, honestly. Like, these prelims, I don't know what they were on. They were on crack. Like, these prelims were actually so good. I can't really say that much about it. I mean, overall, the card was, like, surprisingly pretty well, especially these prelims. Like, they were really good, in my opinion. And, like, I got really bad on my predictions this card, guys. It was really bad for me. But, like, I didn't really care because these were some great fights. Like, this one. Like, McKelf and Josette and Kevin were, like, pre-even on the feet in the first round, and then, well, McKelf did knock him down, but at the same time, Kevin was able to control the first round, like, on the feet, I'd say, a little bit, like, he was keeping his jab, but then as the round kept going, McKelf just kept on dominating him. He just got more and more, like, focused and was having some nasty leg kicks. Like, Kevin's body was looked so, like, messed up that whole night. It was really busted up, so he's gonna feel it in the morning, I'll tell you that much. And, yeah, I mean, good job for McKelf. He looked really good and in his debut. And I would say Kevin's, like, a pretty decent welterweight. So, for him to beat him in his debut, I would say that's a pretty good job, honestly. All right, Ronzu versus Cody Steele. Yeah, this one was pretty bad. I got Cody Steele. I had Cody Steele winning, and Raksu dominated him throughout the whole fight, honestly. It was also, like, a great fight. Like, they were going crazy. The first round, they were throwing at each other. It was a great fight also. This was another great one. Like, these fights were great, honestly. And they started to point the ground, doing Max Holloway style. They were throwing. These two were throwing, honestly. They were trying to damage their brains like no man's tomorrow, to be honest. So, I mean, good job for Ronzu. He did really good in this fight. He looked really good, and it was just a really fun fight. There's not much I can really say, because, like, he just looked really good, I'd say. Cody Steele has a pretty good, like, chin, honestly, because he was getting hit with a lot of shots, and the fact that he made to a decision, I would say that's pretty impressive. So, you know, good job for Ronzu. All right, now we have Kobe Thickness versus Alexandre Topuria. I know I'm saying these prelims were really good. Out of all of them, this was like the stinker, which is ironic because this was probably the most anticipated fight of the whole, like, prelims. Here's how it went. So Kobe Thickness was like, he would keep his distance and he would throw a lot of, like, punches, but none of them were not significant at all. And Alexandre Topuria would eat them and then would not land as much, but the ones he did land were very significant. I think Kobe got, like, dropped maybe, like, twice in the fight or something like that, maybe once. He definitely got dropped in the first round. And, yeah, as the fight kept going, Topuria just looked better and better. And he did, like, a sumo slam in the first round as well. So, you know, that's a good debut for him. It's hard for me to say because Kobe took this fight on a 2 weeks notice. And, yeah, he had Volkanovski in his corner. He had some good guys in his corner. But still, I feel like we need to see him fight, like, a decent, like, bantamweight fighter. So, I have some ideas of who he can fight, but I'll save that in my next video. But overall, I would say it's a pretty decent debut for him. So, good job, Alexandre Topuria. You are not a fraud. All right, now we have Wang Kong versus Bruno Brazil. Yeah, I would say Wang Kong did what Wang Kong does. Like, she was just keeping her distance, her striking, all that. To be honest, I thought she was going to KO her, but she really didn't. Bruno Brazil just gave up, to be honest. Like, she didn't seem to care at all on how this fight was going. Like, like, she was losing the fight pretty comfortably, and she just didn't do anything. So, you know, that's what happens. Like, you just don't try, and yeah, you lose. All right, my GOAT, Tom Nolan, he got the win. I got it right. I'm so happy. Listen, my predictions this card have been absolutely horrible. Like, actually, like, this is the worst prediction card I've had. Not even just, like, recording this video or just me making this channel ever. Even before I started making YouTube videos. Like, this might be the worst prediction card I have ever made in my whole life. But honestly, I would rather take that and have Tom Nolan winning, because I am so happy he won this fight, man. And he looked really good. I thought this was going to be a very competitive fight. I mean, it was competitive, don't get me wrong, but Tom Nolan easily won, like, all those rounds, in my opinion. And he looked really good. His leg kicks were really good. He implemented his wrestling really well. He tried to submit him a couple times, but he needs to work on that, I think. And honestly, I think Borshev, like, beating him is a really good win for him. Because Borshev's, like, I feel like Borshev's, like a Neil Magny for lightweights as far as unranked lightweights go. You know, you beat him, then you're like, okay, we're gonna give you a better opponent. So now that Tom Nolan has beat him, I think that he has more options now for who he can fight. And, like, his leg, and honestly, the leg kicks, I've just said before, but I gotta say it again, his leg kicks looked really good. He was spamming a lot of leg kicks. Like, he was trying to be he was trying to be a UFC 5 character, just spamming those leg kicks, which were working for the most part. He did this one leg kick where he was on guard, and Borshev was kicking him, and as he was moving away, Tom Nolan followed him for a second, and then did like a, he kind of lifted himself up, and then did like a kick as he was lifting himself up, while he was still on guard on the bottom. That was really impressive. I've not really seen that much. So, I mean, good job for Tom Nolan, man. I'm so happy he won, guys. You guys notice, I'm a big Tom Nolan fan. I am possibly the only Tom Nolan fan in the entire world. This was such an exciting fight. I'm very excited to see what Tom Nolan does in his future fight. Alright, now we have Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Yeah, I thought Jack Jenkins was going to do really good. Gabriel Santos just completely schooled him. Although in the first round, it was pretty exciting. That first round was really entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. Jack Jenkins knocked him out, or he didn't knock him out, he hit him with a head kick. He hit him with a head kick and would have probably finished him had he not gone in for the finish on the ground, because then Gabriel was able to get like he was able to get in like a leg lock with his legs, and I thought he was gonna submit him because that was deep. It was a really deep one. He had him in there for like close to a minute, and then went for an armbar, and then Jack Jenkins was able to get out, and then Jack Jenkins got some in like the third round. So I mean, good job for Gabriel. The fact that he was able to recover extremely well from that head kick, and then going on to submitting him in like the third round, that's really impressive. So, you know, I got this one wrong again, but you're gonna see that a lot in this video. But honestly, good job for Gabriel Silva. I have to give him my flowers for that performance. Alright, now we are on the main card, guys. Main card, unranked fighters. All of these were unranked fighters. I have to say that again. Jake Matthews versus Francisco Padro. I'm glad I got this one right. I had Jake Matthews winning. I was originally going to go with Padro. I'm very happy I didn't go with him, because Jake Matthews looked better. To be honest, the prelims were a lot better than, for the most part, of this main card, I feel. Mainly, like, the unranked ones, like, I don't know, I didn't really like this one. I thought this one was like a snooze fest, to be honest. Jack Matthews just, they were throwing, but I don't know, I just didn't find this one that interesting, to be honest, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, some of these like unranked ones on the main card, I was kind of like not entirely watching, because I just want to get to the Sean Strickland Duplessis fight. That's really what we were all watching this card for. I'm gonna be straight up honest. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at Zhang Weili or Tatiana Suarez, but like, come on, you know why we're watching this card. I'm not trying to throw shade at them at all. They're great fighters, but you know. But yeah, this fight was like whatever. It wasn't like anything special. It was, honestly, you could put like Kobe Thickness and Alexandre Topuria on the main card, because at least those are big names, and it would have gotten more people to watch it, I feel. But whatever. Alright, now we have Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. Actually, this went to a draw. So I don't know if this one's correct or not, we'll ignore this one. But this was a pretty decent fight. Jimmy Crute almost finished him in like the first round, 10-8'd him in my opinion. And then Bellato won the other 2 rounds, in my opinion, at least. It was a really good fight, honestly. And I would have liked Bellator to win this fight, but honestly, that fight was a really good fight, to be honest. It was probably one of the better ones of the main card and of the card overall. And I agree that it was a draw, but I can see maybe Jimmy Crute getting the win because, like, round 2 was pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. Round 2 was pretty close. Round 3 was clearly Bellato. And then round 1, sorry, was Jimmy Crute, and it was a 10-8 round, I think, in my opinion. But yeah, this was a really good fight, and I think that was a right decision to call it a draw, because this was a really close fight, to be honest. All right, now we have Justin Tafa versus Teixeira. Yeah, Teixeira knocked him out in like 20 or 40 seconds? I can't remember. In like the first round. Pretty impressive. He hit him with like an elbow right on the forehead. Straight right on the forehead. I'm not exaggerating. And then he collapsed and then he was able to TKO him. So, you know, this went exactly opposite of how my predictions went again. But, yeah, good job for Teixeira. I mean, honestly, we gotta cut Justin Tafa because this guy's like, what? I think he's like 2-4, 2 or 3 in his entire UFC career, or at least in his last 6. I don't know. Just get him out of there, to be honest. He's kind of, well, you can't really get rid of him because, like, heavyweight's so, like, there's not many heavyweights at all. So I feel like you might have to keep him. But Teixeira looked pretty good, I feel. And I think that he's actually going to be a pretty decent heavyweight since, one, he's 6'8", and he's actually not fat. And he has pretty decent, like, moves. So, you know, good job for him. Hopefully he actually performs good in the heavyweight division. Alright, now we are at the co-main, guys. Zhang Li versus Teixeira Suarez. Zhang Li, like, I'm not gonna lie. When the first round started, Teixeira Suarez actually took down Zhang Li. I was like, hold up. Are we gonna get a new champion here? And then Zhang Li locked in and then took her down for, like, the rest of the fight. And then it just became boring. I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing. With Zhang Li, I like her personality. She's a great, like, fighter. I like her personality a lot. But her fighting style is just so boring. In the last couple of years, man. These last 2 fights, I'm not gonna lie, were just, like, I could not watch them for the life of me. But, I mean, yeah, it is funny that Teixeira Suarez, like, shoots her down for a takedown. And then Zhang Li responds by taking her down for, like, the rest of the fight. She got taken down once and then defended the rest of them. I'm pretty sure she defended 12 takedowns out of 13. That's pretty crazy. There's really no one who can stop her in that division, honestly. She should just move up. Fight Valentina Shevchenko. Like, give us some competition, because, like, there's nobody in that division left for her. There was literally nobody in that division. Alright, now the main event. Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Here's the thing. I got these last 2 predictions right, but, like, this one, I threw in the submission idea, like, just as a last idea, but, like, I didn't think much of it, and I got it wrong, but I got DDP correct. And to be honest, I'm very impressed with how DDP performed this fight. He dominated Strickland throughout the whole fight. On the feet, by the way, his style, he's really just a tough fighter to fight now, honestly. It's like, he's like the worst best fighter I think I've ever seen. He strikes horrible, but at the same time lands all the time. And he was also mixing his kicks, which I thought was actually a really good, like, strategy, because in my opinion, Strickland's biggest weakness, as far as his boxing and striking goes, is the kicks. He does get hit a lot with kicks, especially high kicks. And that's what Dricus did. I think he landed more kicks than he did with strikes. I'm not 100% sure with that. They showed it, like, once, and I didn't pay attention to it. But, yeah, Dricus actually, like, schooled him on the feet, and he broke his nose in the 4th round. And, like, Strickland was able to pop it back in, which I'm really surprised he did that. But Strickland did not push the pace at all. When he was losing those rounds, and his coach was telling him, you got put the pace on him or something like that, I'm like, and he just doesn't. I'm like, what are you doing, Strickland? I mean, at least Strickland didn't, like, throw in any excuse afterwards. He just said, I got my ass whooped fair and square. So, you know, at least he's not making excuses no more. And for DDP, I mean, honestly, to be honest, this just felt like a waste of a fight. Like, this felt like this whole card was just really a waste of time for me. and just I feel like for everyone in general, unless you're like MMA Guru because he likes DDP. But overall, to be honest, if I just skipped the main card and just watched the prelims, I would have been happy. I don't think I would have missed much, but I'm covering it for you guys. You know, the like 5 people who stayed up to watch this card. But I mean, yeah, it was a good performance from DDP. Like, really good performance, and now I want to see the Dricus versus Khamzat fight now. Please, Dana White, make that fight. But, guys, that is me covering UFC 312, Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Overall, the prelims carried it, but the main card was really bad, in my opinion. So, I gotta give it, like, a 5 out of 10, or, like, something like that. So, let me know what you guys saw of this card. Did you think it was the worst card ever? Or did you think it was the best? What did you think of the main event? Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!